You know, catching a bus in Belfast can be a somewhat haphazard affair. They're frequently taken out of service if there's any rioting in the streets, and buses get hijacked. And like most bus services here in Belfast, they can never be really sure that the vehicles are going to arrive on time. I prefer a taxi myself, you know. Let's face it, a taxi is really a gentleman's conveyance. And I'm told that if you dress like a gentleman, like a city gent, then you get a far better chance of hailing a cab. So here it is, briefcase, brolly, taxi! Can you take me into town, please? Thank you very much. My God.
Can you sit down now?
Yeah.
You want to sit on my knee?
Sit on your knee. It's a bit crowded, isn't it? Right, driver. You've got to be matey in a Belfast taxi like this. Not object to a little company, even sitting on a stranger's knee. In Belfast, they operate one of the most extraordinary taxi services in Britain, or anywhere else for that matter. It's the morning rush hour on a Belfast housing estate, a few miles from the city centre. Around here, everyone catches a cab. Since the troubles in Ulster began, the people here have faced the problem of getting to and from work. So an organisation has sprung up called People's Taxi Service. It belongs to the community, a kind of plush public transport. And if you don't mind the crush, then it's more convenient than the bus service. You simply walk out of your door to a taxi assembly point, and when it's full, you're off. It began in a small way, but over the past few years, more and more men have bought a taxi, and there's now over 300 of them. Mostly they're old London cabs, worn out and past their prime, and they can be picked up for a few £100s. The problem is many of the cabs are operated illegally. Many don't have a valid operating certificate or are only covered by insurance for private hire, and regulations about the number of passengers they may carry are totally ignored. These cabs make the same journey day and night for up to 20 hours a day. They just motor up and down the Falls Road from the Catholic housing estates, and the drivers and passengers are Catholics too. From the Shankill Road, the hardcore loyalist area, the Protestants run their own community taxi service as well. And in fact, there's been some liaison, even cooperation between the two organisations. Both communities run an incredibly cheap and efficient service. This is the dropping-off point near to the centre of Belfast. It's a kind of miniature taxi city where literally hundreds of cabs arrive to disgorge their thousands of passengers. For the drivers, the service has given them a good living of up to £40 a week or more. So the demand for clapped-out London taxis, which can still struggle up and down the Falls, is growing. And many of these men were unemployed before the service started up, so it's offering them jobs as well. They have to pay a registration fee of £1 to their organisation, which hopes one day to open up workshops and improve the standard of cabs. As for the bus service, well, it's forced to withdraw from the street so often because of riots, and so many buses are hijacked that the taxis merely ease their burden. The organisation on the Catholic side is based on the Ballymurphy estate. Its headquarters is a hut. There's an office and a secretary, and Danny McLaughlin, the organiser, who's a cab driver himself. Well, what are the main advantages, say, for the community?
Well, we offer a cheaper service and a longer service. We run something like 20 hours in every 24. Our prices, children travel for 5p, where it costs them 7p on the bus. Adults are 10p and it's 14p on the bus.
But this is just really a phenomenon of the troubles, the conflict in Ulster, isn't it? I mean, what's going to happen if, and we all hope it will, that peace comes back to the place?
Well, I would agree that it may not have all begun if the troubles hadn't taken place, but at the same time, it's functioning now. The people prefer it, and as long as the people support it, we intend to be here to give them a service.
Even when the troubles are over?
Even when the troubles are over.
The tea time rush hour starts at 4:30, and all 300 cabs come here to start carting home the communities. There are so many cabs that waiting time is restricted to a few minutes. Mind you, it's every man for himself, and a polite city gent can find himself out in the cold. Have you got room for one?
I'm sitting on my knee. I don't know.
before they started the taxi service, how often did you used to go by taxi?
We didn't.
Well, before us,
Yeah.
it was always bus we went by.
You never went by taxi?
No.
You didn't get a taxi in for
Sorry.
2 bob.
Sorry?
You didn't get a taxi in for 2 bob.
This must be about the cheapest taxi service in the
It
world, mustn't it?
definitely. Must be.
And what benefit do you think it gives the community?
Well, sure, you pay you pay 7p on a bus, and you can come sit in the taxi for 10.
You can get very cosy in a taxi,
Yes,
can't
you
you?
can. You can now. Oh God, you can now, can't you?
Good looking
You get very cozy in a taxi now, can't you?
Yeah.